I'm caps lock different. It's facts, not fiction. Said I black out for real, then the track gone missing. If it's cap, I'm dipping. We ain't talking about a move, then it's flatline finished. When I spaz, I'm grinning. Put a peel off in the Sadies and I pass by spinning. It's perks with this life, but I don't have my skinach. Took a quick trip and now I'm back home winning. And I see they eyes pop like I snack on spinach. Pull up to the spot, she tryna grab my digits. I'm already 8 shots, a Henny past my limit. Here you go. Hazards with a dash full of tickets. I'ma act like I don't see them. I got bad eye vision. Y'all can't pass my scrimmage. While y'all tripping, it's Aruba. I realized I had to go and flip this.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 243 of Psychotic and Iconic. Paul's Theories and Philly Phil are back in the building. Yeah, I don't know.
We're back in the fucking booth.
Back in the fucking building.
I mean, yeah. What else do you want to say?
I don't know. I'm a little hot, actually. Can you turn that air down a little bit?
I mean, the air is the best. Is the best it's going to be. It's fucking 97 degrees outside. Do you think it's going to be cool in here?
We got to work on that. We got to work on your AC unit.
I know. Well, it's 15 years old.
Yeah, we got to
You
call
want to pay
Lou.
for it?
We got to call Lou.
You want to pay for it?
I got like 200 I could give you.
200. Yeah.
That could cover like a valve.
Yeah, I'm a valve.
I could cover a valve.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it, baby. Pro football talk. Top 32 teams entering minicamp. At number 1, we got the Eagles, of course, led by number 1. With number 1, all things are possible. Number 2, we got the Chiefs. Number 3, we got the Bills. Number 4, we got the Ravens. Number 4, we got the Lions. Number 6, we got the Commanders. Number 7, we got the Rams. Number 8, we got the Texans. Number 9, we got the Bucks. Number 10, we got the Broncos. Number 11, we got the Packers. And number 12, we got the Vikings. Number 13, the 49ers, 14 Bengals, 15 Chargers, 16 Steelers, 17 Bears, 18 Seahawks, 19 Cowboys, 20 Cardinals, 21 Patriots, 22 Jets, 23 Falcons, 24 Colts, 25 Panthers, 26 Titans, 27 Raiders, 28 Jags, 29 Dolphins, 30 Giants, 31 Saints, 32 Browns. That was a lot of fucking reading.
That was a lot of reading.
That was
you did great. You did great, though.
That was a lot of reading.
You were on point.
That was a lot of reading. I see a lot wrong with this, man.
Well, let me ask you a question. Where do you agree with this list and where do you disagree?
I definitely agree at number 1 with the Eagles. They've earned that. They definitely should be number 1. Where else do I agree? I agree with the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens are up there. Number 5, I think the Lions, that might be a little high. The Commanders, the Rams, the Texans. I think the Packers are. I'm surprised the Packers are outside the top 10, to be honest.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, their defensive backs are trash. Their defense might be able to. Well, they will be able to be had. But no, I think for the most part, the first 4 are right. I mean, it's the Bengals are low as hell in my opinion. I know their defense is trash, but you got one of the premier quarterbacks, so that's a little odd.
I think they're properly rated. They might be even too high. Their defense is horrible, bro. Not going to stop anybody. You're not going to win any. You're not going to win any games losing like that. You're playing defense like that. You're just not. It's not happening. That's why they missed the playoffs. They had a triple crown winner, a fucking quarterback who threw for 40 something touchdowns and like 9 picks, and they didn't even make the playoffs. So to me, 14 for the Bengals is a little high for me. I know their potential, but their defense is ass. So where I agree with is the Eagles number 1, the Chiefs number 2. Outside of that, I think you could start shuffling. To be honest with you, I think from after the first 2 with the Eagles and the Chiefs, I think you could start shuffling. And I'll give you my top 10 and entering minicamp. I got the 1 is the Eagles, 2 is the Chiefs, 3 is the Ravens, 4 is the Rams, 5 is the Commanders, 6 is the Bills, 7 is the Lions, 8 is the Broncos, 9 is the Bucks, and 10 is the Texans. That's my top 10. Like, to me, I think the Bills are really high because I think the Ravens could beat them. I think the Rams could beat them. I think the Commanders could beat the Bills. And the only reason why I say that is because their defense, the Bills, they're not that good.
I don't understand it, though, because I'm being serious here. I'm not even trolling. This is where I get so pissed off with Josh Allen and the Bills shit.
Why? being the 6th best team in the league by himself is amazing. It's amazing, bro. Their defense, you can't name one defensive guy on their team. Besides Joey Bosa, another washed up defensive end that they got, just like they got Von Miller. They overpaid for him. What impact did he have? right? Like he had a good game last year in the playoffs, but that was it, man. Like they were expecting him to be the Super Bowl MVP, Von, to get after the quarterback. The problem with the Bills is they can't get the fuck off the field on third down. So they can't beat the Commanders because the Commanders are one of the best teams on third down.
My issue is that I will see these things where I look at Josh Allen, who's an MVP. I look at the Bills as ranked the third team entering minicamp. They're favored in every game. They're going to win probably 13 or 14 games. They're going to lose in the playoffs, and it's going to turn into, well, Josh Allen doesn't have a team. And my thing is if he doesn't have the team, how is he consistently always ranked upon the top? And I get it. It's off of pure talent and pure skill. But at some point, when you are constantly being talked about and you're leading your teams to these records and 2 seeds and shit, you have to produce in the playoffs.
He has.
That's where I get pissed.
But he's produced every time, Mike. Every time he's lost, the defense has given up 30 or more points.
But that was the same defense where he won 14 games during the year. And the same goes for Lamar.
Right.
But the same goes for Lamar.
But they're losing to the Chiefs. It's like, okay, dude, they lost to the Chiefs. They lost to the only bad game I would say that Josh Allen realistically had in the playoffs where I would like, that was probably his fault to a degree, is the Bengals. They scored 10 points.
Yeah.
But the Bengals controlled that whole game. If you actually watch the game, the Bengals couldn't get off the fucking field.
You mean the Bills?
Yeah, the Bills couldn't get off the field.
Yeah.
The Bengals were staying on the field, and that was the game. They just kept eating clock and scoring touchdowns, and the Bills couldn't respond.
Yeah,
that was the only game I would say that Josh Allen could have played a little bit better to help his team. But other than that, bro, every time he's lost in the playoffs, 42 points, 36 points. I mean, like he's scoring more than 30 points a game, and he's still losing. But that's not his fault. Like that's to me is like it's bogus.
I think this year also he gets. I would give him more than 50% of the blame. This loss to the Chiefs.
Why?
Because he had the ball and with the opportunity to drive down the field and he didn't do it. And that's a fair criticism. He had the ball to win the game and he didn't do it. And I didn't kill him for it because there was other shit that happened over the course of that game. But I'm just simply saying, like, when you are Lamar and you are Josh and your teams are constantly being put amongst the elite because you are such an elite player, when you get to those moments, you have to find a way to beat Mahomes. You just have to. Like, look, and I get it. The Chiefs didn't score 30 all season. They scored 30 against the Bills because Sean McDermott is a good coach, but routinely gets out-coached in the playoffs when it matters. And that unfortunately, that's like, I don't really know what to do with that.
That's my evaluation of Josh Allen. That's why I think he's the best player in the league. Because if you take... Bro, Lamar and Josh have to be Superman for those teams to even be in the position they are.
Fair.
Divisional, AFC Championship game. Those are really good accomplishments regardless. Like getting to that point of the season is really, really good. The problem is that when you're compared to Mahomes and the top guys, you have to win a bowl. That's the only difference between that. But to me, Josh Allen has been fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, to have him at 6 overall in entering minicamp with, I don't know.
I was going off of theirs, not yours.
I know.
I'm going off of this.
Oh, well, with third is ridiculously high because
I thought yours was, no. I wasn't critiquing your list. I was going off of my comments weren't for you. They were for pro football talk.
Right. No, I took that. That's what I'm saying. But I'm arguing as to why they're third in their list because because they have the best quarterback. I mean, honestly, look at their roster. They got Khalil Shakur. They don't have any. They don't have an all-pro and wide receiver. They don't have an all-pro at tight end. They had a good running back, a great running back. He had a great year last year. That absolutely helped. But their defense isn't anything special. Honestly, every time they walk into the playoffs, every time they walk into Kansas City, they gave up 30. Josh has to put up at least 36 or more. And when he did put up 36, he lost 42-36. So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Yeah. You know? And it's like, that's the thing that I get so pissed off about. It's like, yeah, I know Josh Allen has come up short, but you have to look at the entire picture of it. Why is he coming up short? You think he's trash in the playoffs? Because when I look at his stats, holy fuck, I want this guy on my team.
Does he have good Super Bowl stats?
He doesn't have any Super Bowl stats. It doesn't matter. He's got MVPs. That's for sure.
I cannot do that.
He's got an MVP.
I cannot
and
do
why
that.
has he got an MVP? Because he took his trash-ass Bills team to the fucking AFC Championship game. That's why he won the MVP.
Phil, I can't do this until January. I can't do it. This was the worst thing that ever happened.
But the same thing with Lamar. Lamar is the same thing. The reason why Lamar won his MVP is because the Ravens teams weren't that good. He catapulted those teams to being that good.
The problem
That's the difference, bro.
But the biggest difference with Lamar and Josh is you can look at, when you look at the body of work and you look at their statistics, when the playoffs come, it goes like that.
Absolutely.
And it's Josh Allen, because I think Lamar and Josh are neck and neck.
Regular season, maybe.
No. That's what I'm saying. To me, if somebody were to say Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, I think they are neck and neck in terms of what they can do on a football field. I don't think you could go wrong with either one. I would prefer Lamar. But when it comes to the playoffs, there's no validity.
Why are you preferring Lamar?
I just like Lamar's style better. I think Lamar has done more with less over a longer period of time. This is the first year that Josh Allen had to carry, and it was, like I said, his stats dipped, but it was his best season. But I think that what Josh Allen dealt with this year is what Lamar Jackson has dealt with his entire career.
I mean,
you could say, I get it. He's had Mark Andrews, but he's never had anything close to a Stephon Diggs.
And they've also had one of the best running games in the league.
This year,
including Lamar. Lamar was a part of that running program.
Attack,
absolutely, yeah. But like they've had good rushing attacks too.
In the playoffs, Lamar's numbers they don't support any argument.
Right. But Josh Allen's does, and that's my point.
Yeah.
It's like he's not overrated. In fact, I think he's actually underrated because I think he's the best player in the league. I do. You think Mahomes is better than him? Because I don't. I don't think Mahomes is better than him. Yeah, he has the rings, sure. But when I watch the quarterbacks, Josh Allen, he literally stands out. He makes that team, bro.
Do you think Mahomes is better than Lamar?
Absolutely. I think Mahomes is better than Lamar. Yeah, definitely.
So you think there's a huge gap between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson?
Here's the thing. If you wanted to take Mahomes at number one, I'm not going to argue with you. But to say the gap between Mahomes and the rest of the field is big, I disagree with that. I don't think there's a big gap between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. I do not.
Well, but my point is if you say that Lamar Jackson has earned the right.
No, he hasn't, because what you just said in the playoffs, he dips his game.
Yeah,
it dips down.
Yeah.
Josh elevates his game. So that's where I have him close with Mahomes. I mean, not for nothing, bro. If the Bills win those games, the Bills are probably he probably has multiple Super Bowls. But they didn't win the games. Why? Because again, the defense didn't help. They hold their own. Bro, give it up.
But they hold their own in the regular season.
Yeah, because they don't give up 30-something points. But then when they go to Kansas City, it's like an automatic 30 spot.
I actually think you can make an argument that if you put Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, or Lamar Jackson on the Chiefs, they're just as good because they have Andy Reid.
Well, sure. Yeah, I mean, anybody could say that. But what I'm saying is, like, when I'm like watching and evaluating players, Josh Allen to me he's neck and neck with Mahomes. He could do the same thing he can. What, he doesn't win? Okay, well, does he have Andy Reid? Does he have any of those guys? No, that matters, dude. Coaching does matter. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Coaching matters between winning and losing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Completely.
Like, name a bad coach that won a Super Bowl. They're not going to.
Bad coach that won a Super Bowl.
You're not going to, bro, because a good head coach keeps the locker room. They have the players believing in their system. Not to say the Bills don't believe in their system. Well, it's just
I don't know.
He just gets outcoached.
I was told that the Eagles have a really bad head coach and a bad quarterback. So it's funny how that works.
Well, who told you that? Because I didn't.
Everybody, not you, but it's that's the narrative. Nobody thinks Sirianni's a good coach.
I think Sirianni's awesome.
I love Nick too.
I love Nick. I loved him from even when he was going for it on fourth down. Everybody criticized him. I stuck by him because I said I love it. Why? Because the players buy into that. They love that shit.
All right. So off of that, we'll have plenty of more Lamar and Josh talk.
So all right, yeah, we'll have plenty more.
Way off the Lions at 5. That's way too high. Way too high. And the Commanders at 6.
So where would you put
where
would you put them? I have them at 7.
My thing is how are the Lions better than the Commanders when the Commanders added Deebo Samuel, who I was told is an awesome utility knife, and the Commanders already beat the shit out of the Lions last year?
I got the Commanders at 5.
Yeah, so I'm going off this. I didn't make a list, but I would probably go Eagles, Chiefs, just off the top. Eagles, Chiefs, Ravens, Rams.
That's who I have.
Then I would probably go. I might be inclined to throw the Buccaneers up there
at 5.
Around there.
Nah, you're tripping, bro.
Nah,
at 5 is crazy.
Why?
I mean, they're good, but they're not that good.
It's 4 spots. It's literally 4 spots
but a
off
top
of that.
5 is like almost like a shoe-in for a championship game.
I think the Buccaneers are better than the Texans. I think the Buccaneers are better than the Lions. I think the Buccaneers are.
I don't think they're better than the Lions.
I cannot wait for this season with the Lions. I truly can't, because everybody is. I got so many screenshots from this last episode and so much shit just waiting in the tuck on these Lions.
That's awesome.
The Lions, man, people are. It's like it's wild.
But the thing is, if the Lions go 10-7 and they make the playoffs, to me, I think they're in a better situation than they were a year ago. And here's why: because their competition this year is even more fierce. So they're going to be playoff ready when it comes time. That's my take on the Lions. Like, if they get into the playoffs, they're going to be playoff ready, and that matters. That does. That 100% matters. You don't want to play cupcakes all year because the competition gets fierce in the playoffs. So now if they get into that playoffs, that's a team to watch out for.
To me, the Lions are too high. The Commanders are too high. The Rams are too low. Texans are okay. I think the Buccaneers are low. I think the Broncos, they're probably properly rated, but I think the Broncos are going to be a problem.
I have them at 8.
Somewhere around there. Yeah, I didn't make a list. So like I said, I'm going off the top of my head. I'm just trying to say it. But
off the top of your head, Broncos or Bucks, who you taking?
I'm probably going Bucks.
I got the Broncos ahead of them by 1.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bucks. I think Baker at this point is better than Bo Nix. I think they have a better wide receiver group.
Head coach, they don't have it better.
They don't have a better head coach.
And I don't think their defense is better either.
Me neither. The other part that I just thought of, they lost Liam Cohen, who was the offensive coordinator. So that could be tricky, but Baker will be fine. But I don't know. I mean, they even have. I just realized that too. The Buccaneers are above the Broncos here too. So, but I had
it reversed.
Yeah. No, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the Lions are the most overrated team. The Lions are the most overrated team going into the year for me, followed by the Commanders, to be honest. I think
overrated in what aspect? Just in terms of their total team makeup or their schedule? Because their schedule is hard as fuck. And if that's what you're going off of, then I can respect that.
I think it's schedule based. I think they lost a lot of pieces. I don't think losing your center is a recipe that bodes well. I don't think losing both of your coordinators is a recipe that bodes well. Dan Campbell. I mean, I've seen him without Ben Johnson. It wasn't that good. So maybe he learned some shit along the way. I don't know. I don't know on that. I don't know, man. For the Lions, for me, I just think that it's going to be a tough year for them. I still think they're going to be good, but I just don't think they're not going to blow through the league the way they did last year. That's just not happening. They're not dropping 40, 50 a game on people. They're just not. That's not happening. And I feel like that's why they're rated so high.
That's fair. Now, what's a team outside the top 10 that you think should be in the top 10?
The Bengals.
Wow.
The Bengals. 100%. When you have Joe Burrow, I mean, dude, they had a historically bad defense and he mustered out nine wins. I would like to think their defense is going to improve a tad.
Yeah.
They can't go anywhere but up. For real. And I think with Joe Burrow, I think he's got a chip on his shoulder. And I also think that with that chip is he's got pressure on him too now. I think you got Jamar paid. I think T. Higgins is paid. I think Chase Brown is a fucking stud who's going to have a big year. They did get a new defensive coordinator. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But I think the Bengals are low as hell at 14. You know what I think is fucking hysterical about this list?
I think the Niners are really low too.
I'm so glad you said that. That's the team I was just going to go to. How do you pay your quarterback $55 million and you're ranked 13th going into the season?
But that's the team that I think could absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners ended up being a top 8 team by the end of the year. 100%.
Come on, fam.
They actually might win the division. They could. They're going to rival that.
If I'm telling you right now,
they're going to rival it, bro.
If the 49ers win that division, I don't want to hear no more Matt Stafford top 5 talks.
Well, why?
You have Devontae Adams. You have the almighty, all great, certified top 5, unstoppable 1,500-yard rookie season Puka Nacua, who everybody tells me is way better than everybody I name. So if you got Tay and you got Kyron and you got Puka and you got McVay, who is one of the best head coaches in the game, the most elite play caller in the game, and you can't win your division against Brock Purdy and Brandon fucking Ayuk, I don't know what to tell you.
So
you're not all that.
So defense don't matter because we just saw that with Joe
The
Burrow.
Rams defense was
Joe
good.
Burrow had a fucking triple crown winner and didn't make the playoffs, but you still have him in the top 3 player.
Hold on, baby.
Am I wrong?
Hold on. I didn't have a top 3 player. Joe Burrow?
You know, bro, Burrow's in your top 3, dude.
Last year, he isn't like my favorite, but last year I didn't say that. Last year I said he's got to wear that.
Sure, he's got to wear that.
I said he's got to wear that.
But you still put him in the top in the upper echelon
just
as
because
a quarterback.
of his brilliance.
What the fuck is that? You don't think Matt Stafford's brilliant?
Matt Stafford's not brilliant if he's not beating that 49ers team.
I don't.
Matt Stafford should win that division going away.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Here we go.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro? You praised Joe Burrow. He had a triple crown winner, dog.
Bro,
he had 2 wide receiver ones on his squad. Chase Brown that you just absolutely
and I had them ranked higher.
I know you have it ranked higher, but to say that Matt Stafford, you don't want to hear the talks of him being in top 5 because of this season alone is ridiculous.
Matt Stafford has a super team. Matt Stafford has just as much as Jalen Hurts. Actually,
he does.
I would argue Matt Stafford has more.
I think he does have a super team.
He
I
has
disagree
more.
with that.
And you don't think he's good? Bro, I'm telling you right now.
I also think Burrow has a super team.
Hold on. If Jalen Hurts doesn't win the division with this team, they will say he's fucking ass. He just won the Super Bowl, and you got people out here saying that he's not a top 15 quarterback. But Matt Stafford, you're telling me, can lose the division to the 49ers, and he's still going to have top 5 quarterback. He's got Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, an up-and-coming defense. That defense was good last year. If they're only going to improve, and you have the best head coach in the game, why isn't that the same? If Matt Stafford loses the division, he's not going to get any type of criticism.
Did you criticize Burrow like that because you still have him in the top 5?
No, last year you told me I was crazy because I said if Joe Burrow misses the playoffs this year and Jalen Hurts makes a playoff run, you're going to have I'm going to have uncomfortable conversations about the way Jalen Hurts is portrayed.
Which is fucking it's ridiculous.
No, it's not.
It is because if you watch you watch Joe Burrow and you watch Jalen Hurts, you think Joe Burrow is not better than Jalen Hurts?
I can't tell in January.
Oh my God.
Joe Burrow don't play in January.
Bro, that's asinine.
It might be. Ask the 10, ask 11, ask the 12. But all I know
Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl and lost.
He did.
So what?
And he gets more credit for losing that fucking Super Bowl than Jalen Hurts does for winning it. And that is crazy.
Right. But you also give him the credit because you have him as a top 4 player, top 3 player.
Because out in the AFC, there is no other quarterback that can stand across the field from Patrick Mahomes when it matters and beat him.
But he still didn't make the playoffs.
Bro, I get that.
He could beat Patrick Mahomes when it matters most, but can't make the playoffs. That doesn't make any sense. Think about that.
No, this year was a bad year.
Exactly.
It was a bad year, and I get
why
that.
can't Matt Stafford have a bad year? That's all I'm arguing, bro. Because you're saying that
exactly. But you just went on something like I said something crazy. All I said was if Matt Stafford has the same makeup as Jalen Hurts, except Matt Stafford is a little bit a tier ahead because he has a better head coach. But people are telling if Jalen Hurts loses the division this year to the Commanders, what are they going to say about Jalen Hurts? Are they going to tell me he's ass? Are they going to tell me Jaden Daniels is better than him? Exactly. If Matt Stafford loses the division to Brock fucking Purdy, are they going to question him?
No. You want to know why?
Why?
Because Matt Stafford throws for more than 30 times a game, and Jalen Hurts only throws for 20. But that's the public perception.
And the public perception is gay.
And we talked about that on the podcast with Slay, did we not? He agreed with me. He agreed. That's the reason. That's the public perception.
And it's stupid.
But I don't disagree with that. Again, I think we're arguing the same thing because I actually agree with you. But what I'm saying is that you can't say that Matt Stafford is automatically eliminated from top 5 because he lost the division to the Niners. Bro. When then Joe Burrow, who had a triple crown winner, which is insane, and didn't make the playoffs, bro. Like, I don't understand that.
He has a triple crown winner, yes, bro, but that doesn't, like you said, the same way you defend Josh Allen, it doesn't matter if you put Josh, Patrick, or Lamar on that Bengals team, they're the same shit. That defense is scoring. You tell me all the time, Josh Allen elevates his level of play in the playoffs, but he's losing because of his defense. That's just what happened with Joe Burrow. But I was the one who said this. Joe Burrow is my favorite player in the league. Bro, you got to put on. Like, I'm not going to sit here and defend you when you're missing the playoffs in your prime. I was just simply arguing that with the Rams, everybody keeps telling me how great Stafford is and how great Sean McVay is, but you're going to come in here and tell me that Jawan Jennings, Brock Purdy, and Ricky Pearsall are about to tee off with Brock Purdy and win the division, and Matt Stafford's not going to catch no shit for that?
Well, you didn't
That's
mention
fucking nuts.
You didn't mention Kittle. You didn't mention CMC. You didn't mention their offensive line. They have a good team, bro. I think the Niners are good. I think they're slept on. That's all I'm saying. Now, you might think differently. You think they're lower than 13? Or do you think they're properly rated? Truthfully. The Niners, that is.
I don't think the Niners probably properly rated, but give or take like 3 teams. Like, I think the Chargers are better than the Niners.
Maybe.
I think the Chargers are better than the Niners.
I'm not mad about that.
Steelers
aren't better than.
I think they're on par with them.
Steelers?
I think the Steelers
Absolutely
are.
not.
I think
the Niners will wipe the floor off them. Because Aaron Rodgers struggles against the Niners and
well, that's weird shit. I can't.
It is weird.
I can't argue on that.
I don't think the Bengals are better than the Niners.
I do.
I don't. Chargers maybe. Steelers no. Bears no. Seahawks no. Cowboys no. Anything on this list no.
Well, I mean, the Cowboys are in the same boat. They got a $60 million quarterback that they signed in September, and they're ranked fucking 19th. So.
In fact, I'm going to even put the Niners over the Vikings. And I think the Vikings are a good team. There's just there's a big question mark at that quarterback position. There is, dude. It's a rookie quarterback coming off an ACL tear. I would probably say the 49ers ahead of the Vikings. Me too. The Packers and the Niners toss up. I don't know. I would probably take the Niners.
I might, because I think the Packers are going to have a problem. I think the Packers got some problems, bro. I don't think people understand how big of a lose. I know he gets hurt and shit, but losing Alexander, bro, they're deep. Can you even name a D back on there?
Well,
they're mid.
Yeah, they're mid. Exactly.
So unless Jordan Love all of a sudden is going to be Superman.
Well, they got rid of Jair Alexander, who went to the Ravens.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But I mean, not for nothing, but same thing with Lamar now. Motherfucker's got a squad too.
He does have a squad.
He's got a squad too. So that's just my point here with the Rams. The Rams can't fuck around and lose that division. I'm sorry, they just can't, man. Not with a team like
I don't
that.
think they will, but I think the Niners are absolutely going to rival them, dude. I mean, let's go through the Niners schedule. Dude, it's not that bad, bro. They play the Seahawks, the Saints, the Cardinals, the Jags, the Rams, the Bucks, the Falcons, the Texans, the Giants, the Rams, the Cardinals, the Panthers, the Browns, the Titans, the Colts, the Bears, the Seahawks. This team is definitely going to rival for the division, bro. I see maybe possibly 5 losses. And that's if you want to include every single good team they play. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Niners are slept on, bro.
Why were the Niners so trash last year?
Injuries. They lost CMC. Debo got hurt. Ayuk got hurt.
They don't have Debo this year. Ayuk got hurt, but Ayuk's coming off.
Pearsall got hurt, got shot, and then he had come back. I mean, that mattered, bro.
My thing is with Ayuk now is going to be easing in. Like Ayuk is going to come out week 1 and do his thing, and I don't even think Ayuk's that good to begin with. But that's just my personal opinion. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think like Ayuk's not coming out in the first 3 weeks of the season going to be at number 1. That doesn't happen off of that injury. So
Jawan Jennings is good. Pearsall is good.
I actually like Jawan Jennings.
I actually like Pearsall. I think Pearsall could play too.
The Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are a little slept on. I don't know. Everybody told me how great Sam Darnold was. He threw for 4,000 yards. He was 14-3, blah, blah. Now he goes to another team and it's like, he ain't that good. So which is it?
Because we've seen this movie before where a guy.
I was the one saying this last year and everybody was telling me that's crazy.
No, here's my point. With Sam Darnold, we've seen this movie before. A quarterback has a great year, goes to another team, and gets paid, and then they're dog shit. Now they're like fucking eating that contract, and then
do you think Sam Darnold is as good as Geno Smith?
I think Geno's better.
Do you think that?
And I think the Raiders at 27 is a joke. I think the Raiders are better than the Titans.
Hold on. Do you think that Geno and Darnold are comparable, or do you think Geno's way?
I think Geno's way better than Sam. Because I think Geno, he's a fringe top 10 guy, bro. It's crazy to say that. I know it's fucking wild to say that, but when you actually watch Geno Smith, bro, he had the worst offensive line, and that dude was balling.
I actually don't hate on Geno.
He was balling, bro. He was actually really damn good. I'm
looking at this schedule.
Like, I think the Raiders at 27 is a joke. I think they are the lowest team that I think is top 20 potential. 100%.
Raiders will be fighting for a wild card.
100%.
Them being down there with the Dolphins, the Giants, the Saints. I mean, it's so funny, bro. The Giants, the Saints, and the Browns, man. Like, The Saints drafted fucking a quarterback in the early second round, and they're still ranked 31st.
Well, that's because their whole team stinks, bro. They have an aging running back who just got paid last year. They just paid. They don't have a wide receiver, really.
The Saints are the worst team in the league, bro. They're not winning 3 games.
I think the Browns are better than the Saints.
They absolutely are. If the Browns are fucking smart, they'll start Shador.
I think the Browns are better than the Giants. I think the Dolphins at 29 is interesting. Very interesting. They're very low on
That's low.
I mean, with
why are they so low?
Tyreek, Waddle, Devon Achane, like that's interesting. I'm curious about that.
Are they missing anyone? No, if anything, they're healthy.
They're healthy.
They didn't play yet.
Right.
So, yeah, that's odd. I think it's crazy that the Cowboys are 19th.
Patriots are too high at 21. I think they're going to be better. I think they'll be better this year, but 21 is way too high.
Nah, they're going to be fighting for a 7th.
No way.
The 7th seed.
I don't think so. Not this year. Next year.
Not this year.
They're too young.
We got Drake and Diggs.
I like Vrabel a lot. I think he's going to change the culture, but I think it's going to take time.
I think the Cardinals at 20, whatever.
The Raiders are better than the Titans. They're better than the Panthers. They're better than the Colts. Falcons, we'll see, because Penix is he could be he's a question mark. Now the Falcons could be a sneaky team too. They got weapons, bro. But the Jets, they're not better than the Raiders.
Jets stink.
The Raiders are going to be they're going to be different.
The Jets, like, bro, I'm so fucking tired of this Justin Fields shit, man. Like, I truly can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore with this shit. Like, you go on X, bro, and you see, like, and it's like, oh, he's gonna have a great year this year, and he's throwing a 30-yard pass to a dude with nobody around him except the fucking parking cone
and shorts.
And it's like, oh, he hit him right in his hands. And it's like, you should be doing that.
Yeah.
There's nobody out there. If you're missing that throw, there's no hope for you.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I think Jets at 22 is way too high. Like, for me, the Falcons are better than the Jets.
Yeah, it's just you know what it is with the Jets, bro. It's people just, again, they just. I hate to keep doing this, but we don't believe in Jalen, but we keep giving Justin Hurts. We keep giving him rope to hang himself, bro.
Justin Hurts is crazy.
But no,
Justin Hurts, you called him, yeah.
I said we keep doing this with Hurts.
I know.
I said we don't believe. I hate to keep doing this about Hurts, but we don't believe in Hurts after he wins Super Bowl. But with Justin Fields, we just keep finding ways to give him more rope.
I mean, bro, a belief at 22 is insane. They're not even making the playoffs.
It's too high.
I absolutely think it's too high, but they don't think. I don't think it's any sense of belief. I think 22 is low as fuck. They're bottom of the barrel team, bro. They're not making the playoffs.
Who?
The Jets.
Oh, you don't think Juddy could do it?
No, I don't think so. But I do think that the one team that I would say that's in the 20s that can make the playoffs is the Raiders. I really do.
So, well, the Falcons could too.
I'm an Acco Raider again.
The Falcons could too if they sneak up on the Buccaneers.
Maybe.
If for some reason their offense is stagnant or something. What do you think about the Cowboys at 19? I don't think the Seahawks are better than the Cowboys. I don't think the Bears are better than the Cowboys.
Me either. That's.
I don't think the Vikings are going to be better than the Steelers.
I don't think the Steelers are either.
You got to chill, bro.
I don't think the Steelers
eat your fucking words, bro.
The Steelers are not better than the Cowboys. In fact, the Cowboys took one of their best players.
The Renegade is coming.
The Cowboys took one of their best players.
You told me GP was some shit.
One of their best players.
You told me GP was some
shit. I didn't say he was some shit, but you said he was closer to top 10, and I disagree with that.
He is.
Well, I disagree with
GP is like that.
Well, what did you say? You say he's closer to top 5 in talent?
Than top 10.
Yeah, see, like, I disagree with that. I don't think he's shit. Why would you say that?
He's him.
I never said he was.
Well, no, I'm learning what you do. You twisted my shit.
I never twisted your words.
You twist my words a little bit, so I'm trying to work on that.
Show an example.
You just did about Matt Stafford.
What did I say?
You just did. You talked it in. You talked it up like I was way out of line for saying that.
You were, bro. Because how do you have Burrow in the top 5 automatically when he just missed the playoffs?
What for quarterback ranking?
Yeah.
Bro, I told you there was a conversation to be had about Joe Burrow, and you told me I was
never had the conversation because you always had him in the top 5. No matter what. You told
me I was fucking crazy. We can look at the episode.
And what did I tell you you were crazy about?
And I said, Joe Burrow missing the playoffs. We're going to have some conversations about him. He better turn on this year. And you said, if you're saying he's better than Jalen Hurts, you're fucking crazy. I could watch that.
Yeah, he's way better than Jalen Hurts.
But Jalen Hurts top 5 guy. So my thing is that when you talk about Joe Burrow and you miss the playoffs when you're an elite dude, you have to wear that. And when the truth teller comes in here, sometimes I got to bust it down.
But is he still a top 5 quarterback?
Who?
Joe Burrow.
Oh, he top 2.
So he's top 2 quarterback and missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford loses division to the Niners, who has an easy schedule, and they're also a good team, and he's automatically out of the top 5.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense, bro.
Yes, it does.
How?
Because Joe Burrow's not on a super team.
He had a triple crown winner.
But he threw, but his defense was horrible.
But we're assuming that the Rams defense is going to be legit.
It was last year. They got Jared Verse. They got the story last year was their young up and coming defense. And I even said this on that same episode. I said, when are we going to start we got to look out for the Rams, bro. The Rams are coming. The Rams are that sneaky team. They're that scary 7. They're going to sneak up on everybody. I've been hearing it for 3 years.
But they won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
4 years ago.
Was it?
20, 21?
22?
22? What year did they beat the Bengals? 22?
3 years ago.
No, 22. Damn, was it that long?
Mm-hmm.
Eagles.
So how
Chiefs
again, dude? I don't see how you could put him out. And if you think that Matt Stafford's not a top 5 guy, cool, I get it. But if you do think he's a top 5 guy, and you're saying that this year he's just out of the top 5 because of that, that's just I don't agree.
My thing is that who's got better weapons now, Joe Burrow or Matt Stafford? And you better answer this honestly, swiftly, and keep it a buck. You don't got to think about it either.
You do.
No, you do not.
Why not?
Because you told me Puka Nacua was top 5.
They just had a triple crown winner, bro.
I don't care
that
about
catapults anything that he
Is
ever
Puka
had.
Nacua better than T. Higgins?
Yeah.
Is Devontae Adams better than T. Higgins? Yeah, based on your rankings,
Devontae is definitely better than T. Yeah.
It's Tay.
Yeah, he's definitely better than.
Okay, so those two are, and Jamar Chase isn't. If Puka Nacua was top 5, him and Jamar Chase are in the same realm.
Okay,
they are. So my thing is,
but
and
Jamar
then you're
Chase
adding,
is number 1.
but you're adding Devontae. Devontae, you can argue is still up there in that. So that's my thing. And then you have Kyron, who's better than Chase Brown. Kyron Williams, one of the 10 best backs in the game.
I agree with that.
Who has the better head coach? The way better head coach, Matt Stafford. Zach Taylor's on the fucking hot seat.
Okay.
Well, he's going to be on the hot seat, in my opinion. We're about to talk about that,
but yeah, no. I mean, look, the Rams are better than the Bengals. I mean, that's point blank
in all facets.
Absolutely, except for maybe the quarterback. I would definitely lean.
Agree.
Burrow is the better quarterback.
But I think Matt Stafford got more to work with, and that's crazy to say that because Joe Burrow's got a lot to work with. But I think Matt Stafford has a lot to work with. I do.
But then I think we're comparing apples and apples because my thing is like they both have great weapons. They're both producing. One missed the playoffs, one made it.
Yeah.
So like to me, I never held that against Burrow.
You have to.
I don't though. Because when you have a historically worse defense, I mean,
I do because of the way I judge them, and you don't because of the way you judge them.
Sure.
So that is the disconnect, and it's fair, but that's really is how we think. So that's accurate.
Like Joe Burrow had 43 touchdowns and 9 picks and didn't make the playoffs. That is fucking insane. He had 108.5 quarterback rating and didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, where was he in January?
He was the same place I was.
Yeah, he was sitting on Phil's lap.
That's what I'm saying. But you
Phil's
still have him in the top 5.
Phil's a power bottom.
Still top 2, right? Still slinging that thing, right?
Yeah, Phil, he throw it back? Yeah. Phil Burrow. All right, you got my head hot. I'm sweating. I told you to turn that air down.
That was awesome.
Told you to turn that fucking air down.
That was facts.
It's 15 years old, bro. I might give you 300. I'm up to 300. Phil, you got 300 laying around?
I got work to do.
Yo, speaking of being hot, which head coaches are on the hot seat entering 2025?
I got a couple of them.
At your crib, we all hot.
I got a couple of them things. You have them? You have anybody? I got three head coaches right now.
Yeah.
Brian Daboll's on the hot seat. Mike McDaniel's on the hot seat. And guess what? You know who else is on the hot seat? In my opinion, Sean McDermott. He's on the fucking hot seat for me because if he doesn't get it done in the playoffs this year, I would fire his ass. They have to, bro. You're doing the same shit every year. You're going to playoffs and losing. You're having a great regular season, and then you go into the playoffs, and your defense gets absolutely manhandled. You can't get off the field. Josh Allen has less opportunities to score, and every time he touches the ball, he has to score because your defense can't stop anybody. So, yeah, Sean McDermott should be on the hot seat. That's my 3.
That was fucking brilliant. I can't wait to watch that back. I can't wait to watch you back. Brian Daboll, I think Brian Daboll is safe this year. Because of I'm serious. Because of Jackson Dart.
All right, fair.
Because he drafted him, and I think the ownership. If Jackson Dart plays like shit, he will be fired by week 5 next year. Because I think Jackson Dart has a chance to beat out Russell Wilson to start this year.
Okay.
Because that's his guy. Mike McDaniel, I think he could be on the hot seat. But I think the Dolphins are going to be what the Dolphins are.
Okay.
Kevin Stefanski, I think, is on the hot seat. I think that's a disaster in Cleveland. I think it's only going to get worse when you drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks and the one you took in the 3rd isn't better than the one you took in the 5th. Shane Steichen, I believe, is on the hot seat. In my opinion, Shane Steichen is the first head coach to get fired.
Irsay's not there anymore, though. Rest in peace. Different regime.
Exactly. So I had to think about that for a second. I actually think that plays more to me.
Okay.
New broom, sweep clean.
That's fine. I agree with that. But
I think when you're Shane Steichen, bro, and I'm reading reports about Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson, I'm sorry, man. You got a lot of shit at quarterback, a lot of shit. I think this guy is on a hot seat, and I think it might be a little bit of a bold prediction, but Brian Callahan with the Titans.
Really?
The reason I think that is because if Cam Ward is struggling and the team is struggling 11 weeks into the season, because you're handing him the keys.
Right.
I think that they are, and you don't see improvement or you see disarray. I think they would jump to get Brian Callahan the fuck out of there because they're going to try and save what's his face immediately. Cam Ward. That is my bold prediction that Brian Callahan could be coaching for his job if the Tennessee Titans don't look formidable. Too much hype around Cam Ward. Cam Ward got a lot of good PR the week before the draft and now. You don't hear nothing about
He did.
His PR team was incredible.
Yeah. And that's what we talked about when it's Spencer Burford. He said that the
politics of it, bro. Like, look, you watch that. Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders were fighting for the one spot 3 weeks before the draft.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, now you don't hear shit. You're talking about the way he's throwing the ball. He's Patrick Mahomes' arm angles and shit. That's a lot of pressure, bro.
Yeah, play a game first.
That's a lot of pressure. And like I said, I feel like Brian Callahan find himself in some shit.
I like that. I really do. Anybody else? Like, are we missing anybody that could be on the hot seat?
Brian Schottenheimer.
Oh, you're saying with the Cowboys?
Yep.
They seem a little loyal to their coaches a little bit, though.
Fuck out of here.
Nah, I think they're going to give him more than a year. That's how the Cowboys roll. They're not really one and done type, dude.
I think you want to know why, though? I think Brian Schottenheimer is going to be on the hot seat because I don't think the Cowboys are going to be very good. And I think that they are waiting for this coaching cycle because last year I don't think they had a coaching cycle.
We're missing somebody. You know who it is? Matt Eberflus. Because if Chicago is dog shit.
He's already gone. Stay off the weed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my God. He is.
Hey, yo! Nah.
I got to stay off, bro.
What?
Yeah, I tripped.
Matt Eberflus is the D coordinator in Dallas now.
Coordinator, yeah.
Yo,
Who's the Bears coach again?
Ben Johnson, dog.
Ben Johnson. I forgot about that, actually. I forgot about that, yo. That is.
You said that with conviction,
yeah,
too.
because I forgot Ben Johnson went there. I totally forgot, bro.
Yo, you think Mike T could be on the chopping block?
Who?
Mike T? Mike Tomlin.
I want to say yes, though.
For real?
Yeah, because bro, he's going all in with Aaron Rodgers. You waited till fucking June to get a quarterback.
What about Gannon?
Gannon's up there. He could definitely be on the hot seat, but I don't know because I feel like the Cardinals are competitive a little bit.
They play hard for that.
They play hard for that motherfucker, man. They really do. Who else? I think that's it, though.
Yeah,
I think many. For me, I think that's it. But those top 3 that I said was McDaniel, Daboll, and McDermott. I think McDermott is definitely he's a dark horse, bro. Because I'm telling you right now, if they fail again in the playoffs, they got to change, dude. They have to change.
Oh yeah, and I think that the Bills would be better.
It's Super Bowl or bust for him, dude. To make this, if he makes a Super Bowl, that would save his job. He has to make the Super Bowl. Sean McDermott has to make the Super Bowl.
If you get rid of Sean McDermott, I would hire Joe Brady.
Whatever.
Joe Brady was when they were struggling 2 years ago with Stephon Diggs, he was phased out the second half of the year with Joe Brady. Josh Allen's turnovers went down, and they started playing better on offense. They weren't stagnant. Joe Brady is an offensive guy, bro.
That's why I don't think it works.
But you need an offensive guy when you have somebody like John. Go put Josh Allen with Sean McVay, dog.
Yeah, but I think you need So I think you need a defensive head coach if you have a Josh Allen, because I think the offensive coordinator would take over the offensive call. Like, you want the defense to be focused on. When you have Josh Allen, you have Josh Allen. He can maneuver. He could run the offense, right? But you definitely need a good offensive coordinator to combat with him. If you give Josh Allen dog shit plays, you call in dog shit plays, he ain't gonna do nothing. So that matters. So to me, I think they need a defensive head coach. And that's what I think that the Bills need. And I think that's what they should do.
They have a defensive head coach. So I disagree with you on that.
He's a special teams guy, though. He was a special teams guy with the Eagles.
Sean McD.
Sean McDermott was a special teams guy with us. So for me, it's
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And look, I think Sean McDermott is a good coach. I don't think he's a Super Bowl coach.
Yeah, because
that's the difference.
He has tendencies to get out. Well, the reason that I agree with you on that is because, like, I think I might have said this in the beginning when we were talking about Josh Allen. Like, McDermott during the regular season, he coaches, he's fine. When it gets to big moments, that you just see them fall apart. Like you said, bro, like, you got your ass handed to you in Buffalo by the Bengals. Like, the Bengals controlled that game at your crib.
Yeah.
Then you go, like, you can't get past Andy Reid and the Chiefs, like, not once.
Because there's no mystique. Like when they play the Bills, you're not looking at them and be like, oh man, they got Sean McDermott. We gotta be prepared for this, and that. You don't think like that. Why? Because he's not adaptable like that. He doesn't know all that shit yet.
He didn't even have, bro. I mean, not for nothing, but on the last drive of the game against the Chiefs, he didn't have James Cook in the game.
Doesn't make any sense.
He was your best offensive fucking player.
It doesn't make any sense. That's what I'm saying. So to me, I think he's a good coach. I think Sean McDermott is a good coach. I don't think he's a Super Bowl coach because I don't think he makes proper adjustments, especially in the playoffs. He doesn't.
Yeah, you're cooking, bro.
So to me,
you're all in.
So to me, I think Sean McDermott is on the hot seat, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if he got fired after the season because I don't think if the Bills have to go to the Super Bowl for him to save his job. Anything less than that, he's gone. AFC title and all. Even if we've seen head coaches get canned after that, it happens.
Yo, Phil, he's so back.
You just to me, like you have to get over that hump, and you're not going to get rid of the quarterback. So who are you going to get rid of? You have to be your head coach.
I think Josh could be on the hot seat.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Send him to the Eagles. They'll win another 4 Super Bowls in a row.
I'm cool, man.
4 in a row.
I'm cool. Cool on that.
Dynasty.
I got
you
one.
have a fucking dynasty with 17.
We're about to have a dynasty with 1.
But you would have a dynasty with 17.
But you know what the difference is?
What? What's that?
You know what the key difference is? My dynasty about to start.
Sure.
Your dynasty is like
it never began.
It never began.
And that's okay. That's fine. But he's still been the best quarterback. He was the best quarterback last year.
I could watch that.
I did. MVP Josh Allen.
You're the most amazing human being I've ever met.
I know.
What was the one today about the alien?
I'm an adaptable alien.
Adaptable alien.
Shout out V friend.
All right, let's talk about it a little bit. Reports out of the Colts camp is that Daniel Jones has a slight edge for QB1 over Anthony Richardson as he is rehabbing from his shoulder injury.
I like it. I think Daniel Jones should be the starter because I saw Anthony Richardson play last year and he's ass. He's ass, bro. He can't hit a simple check down. He can't hit slants. He could throw bombs. His bombs are beautiful. Pause. He could throw it with the best of them deep. But when it comes to short intermediate routes, he is a bottom 2 quarterback in the league. He's awful, bro.
It's him and Daniel Jones.
I've watched him. I couldn't believe he was an NFL starter when I watched him last year when I had him on my fantasy team. After week 1, week 2, I remember he threw a check down pass. It literally sailed into the stands. I checked down. It was fucking unbelievable. He's not that good. I don't think Anthony Richardson is ever going to be a polished quarterback. I think he's going to be a dual threat quarterback, which he could throw deep and run, but he can't do the short immediate shit. That's why I don't think he has a future in this league. And that's why I think Daniel Jones is going to be the starter in the Colts because I think Daniel Jones is better.
Yo, all I know.
Daniel Jones is better than Anthony Richardson. That's all I know.
That's not saying much, bro.
I know, but I'm just saying I think he's better.
I'm just saying, bro. Like, I'm reading this shit and I'm just talking. Daniel Jones has the slight edge for a quarterback as he's rehabbing shoulder injury. Like that, like Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Bro, how do you sell that to your fans?
I don't know. And I that's totally fair to say, but I actually think that he's a better fit for their offense than he is than Anthony Richardson.
Well, here's the thing. Daniel Jones.
He can run.
because A, he can run, and B, Daniel Jones at least can hit a wide open player.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That really is the problem. And it sucks for the Colts. Now, I'm going to be serious.
I think he's going to play well, though.
What sucks is I think Daniel Jones can have his typical year. A touchdown a game, run for 50 or 60 yards, maybe keep them competitive like he did his first year with Dayball, because I believe that Shane Steichen is that good of an offensive guy. But the issue that I have is again, it's not helping the franchise. You're not helping the franchise winning 9 games. You're not going anywhere with Daniel Jones. So my thing is you swung and missed 2 years ago on your quarterback. At 5th, you took him.
Yeah.
And you took him knowing he was a project, but you couldn't develop him. Because to be real, like, he's just not that good.
He's not that good.
He's just not, bro. And
he's an athlete.
But I don't need my quarterback to be an athlete. Wow. I need my quarterback I need him to be precise.
Agreed.
That's not his game, bro.
Right.
And here's the thing. If you're an athlete, but you can throw the ball a lick, okay. Like, if you're an athlete, bro, I would rather be able, if you are an athletic quarterback, that is your main thing about being that is your main fucking trait.
Right.
I want you to be able to throw 10-yard passes, not 50-yard passes.
I want you to hit all of them. You're an NFL quarterback.
I'm saying if I have to give and take, I'm taking the intermediate shit before I'm taking the bombs.
But the thing is that there is no give and take when you're an NFL quarterback. Like, we're not talking high school here. We're talking NFL quarterbacks. You're making millions of dollars here. You better be able to hit every fucking throw.
I know that, but with Anthony Richardson, bro.
But he was a project.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't develop.
He can't stay healthy, right? Like,
that's the other part of it.
He's been nicked up a couple times, man, and a shoulder injury is nothing to fuck with. It's not. Especially, if it's his throwing shoulder, that spells disaster.
Is it his throwing shoulder?
I don't think it is. I think it's the opposite. But he's been concussed a couple of times.
That's what happens when you think that you can run over fucking NFL linebackers.
Right.
But I said this before, bro. Josh Allen, you didn't see Josh Allen doing that shit last year.
A little bit.
No. I'm saying at the rate that he was doing 3-4 years ago.
No.
You can't do that.
Well, he even said it. He wasn't going to do that.
You can't keep up with that, bro. You break down.
He said he wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.
So and that worked for him. But to me, I think Daniel Jones is the guy in Indy. And I don't know if Daniel Jones will last all year. I definitely think that Anthony Richardson will get some burn at some point, because I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be that good. I think he's going to float, but I don't think they're going to be winning. So they're going to look at their project. All right, did he develop? And I think that's where he's going to come in, and I think he's going to be ass again. And I think the Colts are going to be in the running for another quarterback next year, because the next year's class is loaded.
Everybody says that it's loaded.
It's loaded, and not for nothing. I think the Colts has some pieces to move up.
The funniest thing is that Arch Manning isn't coming out next year. He's not. The Mannings stay in college. He's not coming out next year. I would put a lot of money down on that. Arch Manning will not be in that draft next year.
Depends.
He won't.
It depends, though, man. Well, I mean, he doesn't even have to come out. The NIL deals that he's getting is ridiculous. He doesn't even have to rush it. No rush. Why rush?
Why?
Just stack your bread and keep playing football. And then when you're ready and you feel like you're developed, go out and go play NFL football.
What do you think about Tom Brady not being in favor of Sam Darnold to the Raiders?
Interesting, man. I don't know what his beef is with Sam, but I guess
he don't have no beef with Sam.
Nah, I just think he's
got 2 eyes and a brain.
Well, I don't think Sam's a bad quarterback.
He's mid.
He's 100% mid. I think he caught lightning in the bottle last year with the Vikings because of their team. But I don't think Sam Darnold's a bad quarterback. I don't think he's shitty, but I don't think he's a franchise guy.
I think he's ass.
Where I think is Tom Brady made the right move here. For me, I think they made the right move, because you're going to pay Sam Darnold 3 years, $100 million. Now you're tied to that contract. And it's like, well, now if we want to move on next year, how do we do that? I mean, we have to eat this money, and now our salary cap decreases, which actually hurts the wealth of the entire team.
Do you know what they got Geno for? It was cheap, wasn't it? It wasn't like 20.
It wasn't cheap.
Wasn't?
Geno was expensive.
Did he get paid?
Dude. Yeah, Geno got paid. Geno Smith contract.
For real?
He got paid, bro. Yeah.
Oh, holy shit.
2 years. What do you got?
2 years, 66 guaranteed. Holy fuck. Yeah, good boy.
80. Well, dude, he was making 50 with Seattle.
Oh yeah, he was.
He made that 1 year, $50 million deal.
You're right. That's how.
1 year, $50 million deal.
You're right. I forgot about that.
So to me, he took a pay cut with the Raiders.
Bro, I really did forget. I did forget about that. Which, I forgot that. Seahawks paid him.
That's still a rich contract. 2 years, $75 million
for Geno is crazy.
But I actually think that's a better deal than what I would have got for Darnold. It's 2 years.
Oh, I'm taking Geno before I'm taking Darnold.
I got a
At
better
Darnold's
player.
contract.
2 years.
Bro, Darnold got Baker money.
Exactly.
And Darnold's not Baker.
And I think Baker's going to get another extension now.
He is. He's going to get 4 or 5 year extension after this year because he's going to have another bang.
I think it's going to be I think it's going to be soon. I think it's going to be before the season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do.
Well, he's entering year 2 of that deal.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No. I'm asking. Is he?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. I think it's his third year.
Nah, this is year 2.
His second year because he balled out last year.
Yeah, this
2
is
years
year 2.
ago. Okay,
this is year 2. So you might be right, bro. He might be trying to catch the fuck in.
He's 100% going to get a contract extension.
I want my change.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was before the season. He got 3 years, $100 million in last year, 2 years ago.
What do you all right, last thing before we get out of here. I hate touching on this, but we got to do it because it's just so pathetic. What do you think about Shedeur Sanders getting a speeding ticket in Ohio?
All right, look, I'm gonna break it down like this. A speeding ticket is no big deal. Blown out of proportion, 100%. Going 101 and 55, you're out of your mind, bro. That's stupid. You want to be like Henry Ruggs? Is that what you want to do? Because he was doing the same shit. He was speeding on a highway and killed somebody. Do you want to do that? Like, why go 101 and 55, bro? You already know you're a target. You already know that the media is out to get you. Why put yourself in that position? That's all I'm saying. A speeding ticket, if he was going 75 and a 55, to me, I don't give a fuck because I do that.
Yeah.
But 101 and a 55, you lose me, bro.
It's a little excessive.
Like, that's excessive, dude. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we just saw Henry Ruggs do this and ruin his career, bro.
So I'll say this. I agree with you completely. I'm actually pretty surprised that you broke it down like that. I didn't think you would go that route. We can't do what Colin Cowherd did and compare the Colin Cowherd's talking about he had all his stock in on Shedeur. Now he's canceled all of that stock. Shedeur's a bust, can't play, nothing. Okay. He's out on him. That is so fucking corny over a speeding ticket. I get it, dude. I get it, bro. You can't drive 100 miles an hour. I get it. But to say that he's not mature enough to be an NFL quarterback and an NFL franchise quarterback because he drives fast is fucking lunacy.
I think he makes a good point, though. I'm not saying that he should be out on him, but I do think he makes a good point. A franchise quarterback, you are carrying $1 billion franchise. You're the man on your back. I'm just saying he's not the man yet. But if you are the man of the $1 billion franchise, you have to lead by example.
Okay.
So going 101 and 55, you're leading by a bad example. That's what I agree with. But again, if he was going 75 and a 55, I totally disagree. It's the context that matters.
Is Baker Mayfield a franchise guy?
Yeah, he is.
He was running from the fucking cops.
Okay.
Is Dak Prescott a franchise guy?
Yeah.
He got the shit beat out of him on YouTube. There's still a YouTube video of Dak Prescott getting his stool pushed in from a bunch of dudes at a fucking concert on the back of a truck.
Okay.
That shit happens when you are kids. And I got news for Colin Cowherd and everybody else. If you think this is bad, just wait in 5 years when you have a college kid making fucking $80 million a year. They think they're above everybody. You're a product of that. That's what NIL is going to fuck everything up because there's no cap on it. You cannot be giving 18-year-old kids, you can't give them $80 million.
But he's right. He's right about that. He's not mature enough to be a franchise quarterback right now.
Yes, he is.
He's totally right on that because what you just said, the NIL deal, to me, the NIL is only going to slow down the maturity of young adults.
Yes.
That's what it's going to do to these young athletes.
But a speeding ticket, bro, he's not getting in trouble with the cops. He got in trouble with the cops, but it's not like it's a fucking...
Bro, he was going 101, bro.
I get it, bro. I've done 100.
But he was going almost double the speed limit.
You've done 100.
No, that's considered driving with the intent to kill.
Correct. And that's what happened with Henry Ruggs.
Have you ever done 100?
Absolutely, I've done 100, but I've done 100 on
when you're double the speed limit, it's considered driving with the intent
65 miles
to kill.
an hour. I'll go 90.
Really?
Yeah, so. It is double the speed limit and driving intent to kill.
Holy shit! I didn't know that.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. That he's right about that.
I'm not laughing at that, by the way.
No,
I'm laughing at like I didn't know that.
So again, I'm going to bring it again. Henry Ruggs situation comes to my mind when I think about this. You can't go 101 and 55. That's retarded.
Colin Cowherd said, dude, when you try and match your draft number behind the wheel of a car.
That was crazy. I read that before. I didn't see the whole clip, but I read that. That was crazy.
No, I just thought because
that was his caption, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's crazy.
I love Cowherd though. He's real though. He's real though because he's right.
He was on the highway.
But he's right.
He was on the highway doing it. So he wasn't double the speed limit though.
He was 55 at his 55 zone.
Oh, so was he not on the highway?
Highways are still 55.
Oh, they are. Duh. I'm thinking 60. I don't know why.
Expressways 65.
Okay. Yeah.
Highways
all
are 55.
Yeah.
So to me, yeah, like,
Zoning.
exactly. I know my shit. I do this. So yeah, dude. So for me, it's like, bro, going 101 and 55. Yeah, man. Like I'm looking at you sideways. I have to. We just saw Henry Ruggs, bro. He just killed somebody. He lost his career.
No, I know that.
Forever.
He was also, wasn't he drunk?
He was also intoxicated too, but also like he was still speeding and killed somebody on top of that.
Intent to kill.
That's
dude. Fucking nuts.
That's fucking wild.
What I'm looking up to, it depends on state by state, but
Okay.
it could be vehicular manslaughter or some shit.
Gotcha. But there are charges that can get piled on when you're doubling the speed limit, is what you're saying.
Yeah. It depends on state by state, but it depends on what a lawyer would try to.
I got it. Yeah, if that lawyer show up with like fucking boot cut little cuffs and they're fucking hanging all over his shoes
and a buzz cut.
Oh,
he's dead.
You're going down, bro. An old fat white guy like that, where his belt is on top of his stomach, or you can't see the belt.
Yeah,
you're done.
But but he was cited twice, so he got caught twice for speeding.
Yeah, stop speeding.
So he's not learning his lesson.
Yeah.
So to me, like Coward is right, bro, because he has to lead by example. And especially him, he has the most spotlight on him. Why the fuck would you do that?
He was in a hurry.
That's not my problem.
He's in a hurry.
That's not my problem.
Well, you're punctual now, bro, because you got your shit together. But that
no, my wife helped me out being that.
Yeah.
She did. I was
Standards
never
and accountability.
Punctual. I was always 10, 15 minutes late.
Oh, trust me, we know.
Standard.
Phil, you know that too, right?
That was my standard protocol. That's how I always was.
And I always wondered that because I'm like, why is he just so disrespectful about his time?
That's not true. It's just not true. It's just I had a bad clock in my mind that I just
went by your time.
Yeah.
It was NT. It was Nick time.
It was exactly. What's wrong with that?
All right. So that's all we got for you tonight. Quick hour show. We'll be back next Wednesday night. And that's that.
Peace. We out. We caps lock different.
I'm caps lock different. It's facts, not fiction. Said I black out for real, then the track gone missing. If it's cap, I'm dipping. We ain't talking about a move, then it's flatline finished. When I spaz, I'm grinning. Put a peel off in the Sadies and I pass by spinning. It's perks with this life, but I don't have my skinnage. Took a quick trip and now I'm back home winning. And I see they eyes pop like I snack on spinach. Pull up to the spot, she tryna grab my digits. I'm already 8 shots, a Henny past my limit. Here you go. Hazards with a dash full of tickets. I'ma act like I don't see them. I got bad eye vision. Y'all can't